guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let me make sure my
Your cleave is covered up.
appropriately. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for doing this, hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we really, really appreciate it. So tell us about where you grew up.
I grew up in Los Angeles, kind of near like Santa Monica. Been there my whole life. It's my hometown, so it's my favorite place to be.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. When did you start getting into music?
I always grew up loving music, but I never really thought about kind of investing myself into it until about like high school. I got really into like DJs and EDM, and I originally really got into like the mashup remix aspect of it. I thought it would be fun to kind of like put a different song on an instrumental of another song. And I thought that was really cool that like DJs were doing that. So I really got into that at first, and then after that kind of made my way into, okay, I want to make my own music. I want to do this on my own. And that's kind of how it started.
Right. So have you always been inspired by electronic music, or did you like the mashups that were like Green Day over Oasis?
Yeah,
and like
a lot of the mashups were like pop or rock.
Okay.
And then from there, I kind of got into EDM as it went. And I started like wanting to DJ, so I'd like DJ any birthday parties or bar mitzvahs I possibly could.
Wow.
And that's kind of how I got used to like playing in front of a crowd, even though it wasn't like a show. You still do have to please people that are out on that dance floor. So that's definitely where it began.
Is that where you kind of learned how to read people? Like, as far as when you're or DJing a club or something?
Yeah, and I think a lot of DJs now, from what I can see, is they start out as a producer, they make a lot of music, and then they're told, okay, now you got to go DJ and perform. Whereas I'm happy with kind of how it went for me, where I first started DJing and then wanted to make music, because I kind of got used to how I'm going to read a crowd, how I'm going to mix, how I'm going to do this. So I think I just feel more, I don't know if this is right, but I feel really comfortable performing in front of a lot of people, where I know that people who do it the other way get nervous a lot to go on stage and kind of like to just be behind their computer producing. So I was really happy how it turned out.
So did you get discovered at a bar mitzvah?
I actually got, my manager now managed like some other artists, and he and my brother were like friends in college, so he was over hanging out at my parents' house. And that's like when I just started getting into producing.
Oh, cool.
And he came in my room, my manager, Alex Bender. He came into my room, he heard what I was making, and he was like, send me over some stuff. I'd love to listen to it, help out in any way. And he had a bunch of connections, so he kind of had me go in and meet with a lot of guys, like Lost Kings, who I think play here a bunch. I like shadowed them and learned from them, which was incredible.
Whoa.
So I think just being in LA helped also, just being able to meet people so easily, drive 20 minutes to someone's studio and kind of just watch what they do helped.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you first started getting into it, do you remember what really sparked your interest for creating the mashups, or just for spinning records for people?
There was this DJ named Earworm, and after every year he would do like a top 40 songs mashup of like all the best songs of that year mashed up into like 4 minutes. And
oh
it
my
was
gosh.
like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And he was like a big deal at the time. Like when
I
that
remember
came
the
out,
name,
like everyone would listen to that. It was called like United States of Pop or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just to like listen to that, I was like, this is insane. And then I was on a family trip in the Bahamas, and he was playing at a club there. And I was like, I need to go see this guy. And I just remember seeing how the crowd reacted to him, and I was like, that's just so cool. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And just on like a smaller aspect of that, like playing at like birthday parties and seeing how people react to playing a song they love. It's just, I don't know, there's something special about it. And then to take it another step and see people react to my own music was incredible, which still never gets old. So I think that's what really was like, all right, I got to do this. And just like watching DJs on YouTube perform for huge crowds, was like, that's just so cool.
Yeah. Do you remember the first mashup you ever put together?
I do. I did a mashup of Kesha, TikTok, and Kanye West, Touch the Sky.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was so bad, but it was like started. I was like, okay, I'm kind of starting to understand this. Like, I thought this guy just threw songs on like acapellas on a different instrumental, and it just worked if it sounded similar. I didn't really understand like keys yet, or like BPM and like matching that.
Sure.
And then after that, I kind of figured that out. But that was my first one.
Yeah, so walk me through that, because I don't really quite understand it either. Like, I get, the aspect of what's going on, but how do you match stuff like that? Is there a program that you're using?
So like I make a lot of mixes and mashups for my shows.
Sure.
The main thing you want to do is find the key of the song, and then you want to find a song with a similar key. Keys that work together, and then you want to find something that's close in BPM range.
Okay.
So a lot of hit songs are in like 100 beats per minute.
Sure.
So you want to find something in the range of that. Even if it's like 95 or 105, then you can bring them together to like a medium.
Okay. So you slow down one, speed up the other, and it just kind of mix it in that way.
That's kind of how it works.
Wow.
Well, it's beautiful. Like today, our 3-year-old's autistic, and he was just crying so much. And then I had your song on my playlist, and Love Somebody came on.
Love that, yeah.
And literally, like, it was magic. And so that's going to be like on repeat for quite a while. Yeah. So you have it, you have it down.
Yeah. And that's the best thing ever when people like DM me and they're like, this song helped me through hard times, or this song cheered me up. It's so cool to hear. Like, that's exactly what I wanted. That's like the goal.
That's awesome.
And I just know when I listen to songs and it connects with me, it's the best feeling. You just connect with it. So yeah, that's amazing.
It is. Yeah. It's so beautiful.
How
did you begin writing your own music? Like, when did that kind of take place?
Yeah, so I wanted to learn kind of how to produce, how to write my own music. My manager managed a DJ named Capslap, who was performing everywhere in the U.S. at the time. He let me come to a studio, let me learn from him, kind of taught me how it works, showed me like the production and like the applications to use, the software to use. And then from there, it was like YouTube.
Really?
Just watching every possible video. And kind of once I got into a space where I was familiar with it, I would go and like ask DJs like, hey, can I come watch you in the studio? Can I come learn everything you do? And I would just sit back and watch these guys work and just take in everything I possibly could. And I think that's something still important now for artists to do, is just learn from each other.
Yeah.
Like, I still go into sessions today and watch someone do something. I'm like, how did you do that? Or like, what sound is that? Or where can I find that? How does that work? So just learning from other people and YouTube were like two things that really helped me there.
Okay. That's awesome. When did you go from playing, just DJing, like you're playing whatever hit songs or to people to then putting your own music and then just playing only, your own stuff?
Yeah, I think it really began, I started making a bunch of remixes of any songs I could find.
Oh, okay.
And that's like a good way for DJs to get into a scene. A lot of artists will do like remix competitions, put out all the parts of their song, give you a chance to remake it.
Oh, okay.
And do it in your own way. And the Chainsmokers did that with one of their songs called Until You Were Gone. And I loved the original version of that song. I wanted to give it a shot. So I made a remix of it. I sent it over to them. They loved it. They reply to every email, like still.
Really?
Amazing.
Alex Paul literally checks his email all day, every day, and replies to anyone who sends him music. And it's the coolest thing ever.
That is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
So I sent it over to them. They loved it. And literally like 3 weeks later, I was at a cafe and they were there. And I was like, I have to go introduce myself to them. So I did, and they knew my name because I sent them the remix. And then they started playing it out at all their shows. And it was on SoundCloud at the time, that remix, and it started getting all these streams. People were hearing it at their shows, and it started taking off. And I know where it's at like 8 million streams. So then I started getting asked, okay, come play a show here, come play this.
Yeah.
And from there, I could kind of now get other remix opportunities. People are asking me now to remix their stuff for them, rather than me asking if I can do it.
Yeah.
And that kind of just turned into like, okay, I can do this now. I'm going to play my own music out. I'm going to do that. And that's kind of turned into like, I'm going to go make my own singles now.
Sure.
And songwrite on my own. And once we did that, that was incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
You told the Chainsmokers at the cafe, they knew who you were because you remixed the song. Did you know they were playing it at their shows yet, or that was before?
I had no idea. There's a website called 1001 Tracklist, and you can put your name in, and it will find your song if it's been played anywhere, which is awesome.
Oh, wow.
And one of my buddies sent it over to me and was like, I heard the Chainsmokers played your song in New York at Marquee. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So I went and looked it up. And then I saw they were playing it at like Ultra and like all these huge festivals and like big venues they were playing. And right after that, I was like, oh my God, that's insane.
Yeah.
And that like never got old. And I actually opened for them in Nashville about like half a year after that song came out, and that was my first time seeing them play it live.
Wow.
And I was like watching them from the side and just broke down crying. Like that was such a cool moment, and I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is so cool to be able to watch, a group that you idolize playing your song to this crowd of people, and you get to sit there on side stage.
Incredible.
That's really, really awesome. So that song starts getting bigger, or that song blows up because the Chainsmokers are playing it, and you're getting asked to DJ different clubs all over the country, or what?
Yeah. So after that, Blau heard my remix. He's an awesome DJ. And he was in LA, and he was like, "Do you want to get dinner? Do you want to meet up?" And I was freaking out. Of course I do. And he and I just hit it off right away. We had a couple mutual friends, which helped. And he's just an awesome guy. And he was like, "Send me all your music. Send me everything you're working on." So I sent it all over to him. He let me do a remix for his song "Is It Love," which was awesome. And then we just became really good friends, and he was planning a tour all around the U.S. and like a couple shows in Canada. And I'd become friends with his manager also, just from hanging out with them. And they said, "Do you want to come on the tour? You'll be like the first of 3 artists, but it'll be great exposure." And he kind of gave me that like big opening, like, "Okay, here you go. Now you're going on tour," which was like unbelievable, especially to go with an artist of his size. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
So that was definitely like my first time really going out and touring. I was doing like random little shows here and there, but that was like my first like set thing. Like, you're going to start in New York. You're going to be every weekend, different cities.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was incredible.
That's awesome.
So I have to thank him over and over for giving me that opportunity, because he really opened the door for me.
Those were the biggest rooms that you had played.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Insane.
So he was one of your greatest advocates.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And still is, and helps me out so much. We did that song Better With You together, and that was like
I love it.
Cool to come full circle and finally do a song together and get that out. But yeah, he's been one of my best friends now, so he's helped a bunch.
Wow.
What about your family? Like, are any of them musicians themselves, or?
No, my uncle's like a little bit into music, but no one really is into the music scene in my family. But they've been so supportive since day one with like, buying me my first DJ setup and everything. So yeah, they've been awesome all the way through.
That's amazing. And did you have any teachers growing up did you take band or?
No, I took piano lessons, and I actually took like lessons on how to mix and DJ.
Oh, really?
There was a guy playing like one of my friend's birthday parties, and I was like, I want to learn how to do this. I want to get into it. And he like came over to my parents' house a few times and taught me how to DJ, which was really cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That must have been a good birthday party.
Yeah, right?
Just like watching DJ the whole time. Like, I want to get into music.
Were you underage at all when you were DJing like the nightclubs?
Yeah, there were a few shows where I was playing, like the beginning of the Blau tour, for like the first half of it, I was only 20. So usually like backstage DJs get the rider of like their alcohol they want and snacks they want. And like mine was literally just like juices and like Gatorade and like Check Mix. Yeah, and I wasn't able to drink at all. We'd have to like sneak tequila in the back. But, yeah, that was, and like right when I finished playing, I had to leave. So I'd show up, play, and leave. I wasn't allowed to hang out.
So you couldn't stay to watch them?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just tough. But then it was fun on the second half.
Okay, so then you were of age and you could actually hang out.
Yeah.
And that's funny. So because you were so early on in the set too, is that weird? You're like, you go into DJ, you're all hyped up, and then they're like, "Oh, sorry, you have to leave." You're like,
Yeah, it was in and out. Go to bed early. Yeah. But there were some shows where they were 18 plus that I can hang around, but most of them was 21.
Got it. That's cool. I noticed you've done a ton of remixes, like X Ambassadors. I saw you remixed a Blink song. Like, how did were those just songs that you chose, or how?
X Ambassadors.
Or did they approach you?
Yeah, X Ambassadors approached me, which at the time I had only really done like the Chainsmokers remix and a couple others, and they were all just like for fun. That was the first one that I got offered to for money, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, I didn't even know this was a thing. Which is nuts, because I finished it. I thought I was done with it. They were at Interscope at the time. We sent it over to them. I thought it was approved, and I was going to USD at the time. I was a sophomore.
Okay.
And I'm in the middle of a class, and I get a text from my manager, and they're like, they need a couple of changes, and they need it done now.
Oh.
I just remember being like, all right, I'm in class. What am I supposed to do? He's like, you have to leave. Like, you have to. So I had to like sprint back to my apartment downtown at the time, finish the song again, and like send it back to him, which is like wild. And then that song has been huge for me too. I think it's at like 20 million streams now, 18 million around there.
Jeez, yeah.
So yeah, that was incredible.
So is that what inspired the name of your current tour? Like it says, "Can I drop out now?"
Yeah, can't drop out yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like, even when I was been touring with Tiesto the last couple of years, I was still at USC, and it was so weird going from like Fridays or like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm playing shows with Tiesto or Blau or Chainsmokers throughout the US at like insane venues, and then on Monday, I'm sitting in a lecture. And like mentally, that was so difficult because you go from like such a high, like in front of thousands of people to just like doing homework.
That's so funny.
So yeah, that was kind of what inspired that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What were you going to school for?
I went to USC for music industry, which is perfect.
Yeah.
I got to learn everything I wanted to learn.
So you should get like just a honorary like doctorate from there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I agree. They've asked me to come back and speak to some classes, which is actually really cool.
Oh,
I
really?
want to do more of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering, did people start to like recognize who you were in your classes and stuff?
Yeah,
and they're
definitely.
Like, oh,
yeah, definitely in the music school. Not really anywhere else on the campus, but the music school, everyone kind of knew what was going on. All the professors were actually really supportive. Like if I had a show, they were like, "It's cool, go do your thing," because that's kind of like what the goal was for people in the music school. Like, they wanted to go be artists. So it's like, yeah, if you have it going on, go do it. Figure out the lecture later. So
yeah,
they're really supportive.
You would think, that they're trying to teach you how to get to where you had already achieved.
There.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So they're really cool.
Like, what are you going to teach me? What am I going to learn in this lecture that I didn't just learn opening up for Chainsmokers in Tennessee or whatever?
Yeah, it definitely helped a bunch with like legal stuff, like contracts and splits and all that. That was definitely really important.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The knowledge you picked up at USC.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And how did you get connected with Anna Clendenin? It's so hard to say.
Yeah, no. Their label reached out. I did that remix for her, and then we've actually stayed in contact now. We're trying to figure out a song to work on together. I've sent her some ideas, so we're gonna meet up in LA soon and get that done. Yeah, she's so talented.
Yes.
Her voice is amazing. Yeah, we're writing a song right now, so hopefully we finish that up soon.
Oh, I can't wait because we're fans of both of you, so that'll be great.
Yeah, she's great. She's really talented.
So when it comes to doing these remixes and stuff, are you to the point now where there's so many people approaching you, you get to kind of pick and choose who you want to work with?
I'm definitely really selective of it now. I think the most important thing for me now is working on my own music. I'm kind of like stepping away from the remixes a little bit. I want to just get my own music done. I want to be able to release as much music as possible. But definitely if I love a song and I have it offered to me to remix it, I'm down to do it.
You're down to do it.
But yeah, just time-wise with touring also, I want to be able, if I'm in the studio, get my own music done as much as I can.
Sure. And do you have a record coming out? I noticed that you did release 2 songs this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I did a song with Blau called Better With You. And then me and Tiesto just had our song come out called Feels So Good.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. And then hopefully soon I'll have a song coming out called Good Parts.
Okay.
And that will be my next single. I'm really excited about that one. Yeah.
Do you have are you working with anyone on that song or just
can't say right now who, but I'm really excited for it. That'll be my next one. But yeah, the goal is get a bunch of songs done and be releasing music almost every couple months or so.
Rad. And then are you going to compile like a full length or just going to put them out as singles?
Right now, just singles. I'm kind of in no rush to do an album. I want to if I do an album, I want to have time to just sit back and really make it perfect. I don't think I have that time right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you prefer playing the clubs, like the Omnia type clubs, or like the bigger festivals?
It depends. I played Hangout Fest last weekend in Alabama, which was so cool. That crowd was awesome. But there's times where playing these more intimate shows, it's like, I don't know, there's something special about it. I love Omnia. The crowd is always incredible.
Yeah, that's a really cool place.
It's so cool. But I play some college fraternity shows in basements, which are so fun. One, I can play whatever I want. It doesn't matter. And 2, it's just you really connect with like fans there, like people who want to see you play, and there's like people who are right in front. Like, I've been waiting for you to come to our college. So cool to see you. Or like snuck into his frat to see you. So sometimes those are the most fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends.
That's really cool.
Your email's going to be blowing up with requests.
Right? Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The story behind our podcast is to help aspiring artists. And so do you have any recommendations or
advice?
Philosophy?
For aspiring artists, I would say to just like work nonstop at it. Don't be scared to reach out to bigger artists. I think like these bigger artists remember how it was when they were like your size or my size, and like how cool it is to have someone they look up to help them out. Yeah. And I just know, even like for me, I'm not a huge artist, but to have someone reach out and say, hey, would love for you to listen to this or get advice, I always want to do that, because I remember how it felt getting advice from someone I looked up to. So I say reach out to people, work on your craft every day, and like make music you want to make. Like, don't worry about what's streaming well on Spotify. Don't worry about what's cool right now. Make what feels right to you, and it'll work out. I think that's really important. I think a lot of people get like kind of caught up in the wave of like, oh, this sounds in, this is what you have to make.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the way to do it. Go make your own music. Go make what feels right.